Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. And if you've played Magic the Gathering at all, you might have heard the term color pie. And you know that there are 5 colors in the game of Magic. And these colors have meaning, not just in how to cast these spells, but also in the story of the game and in what the cards actually do. So I kind of wanted to talk about this. First off, I want to talk about what each color represents. The colors are white, blue, black, red, and green. White represents peace, law, structure, selflessness, and equality. Blue represents knowledge, deceit, caution, deliberation, and perfection. Black, power, self-interest, death, sacrifice, and uninhibitedness. Red, freedom, emotion, action, impulse, and destruction. And green is nature, wildlife, connection, spirituality, and tradition. Some of these colors, you would think, work together really well with the other colors, both in the game and in the lore. Those are called allied colors. For example, if we look at the color wheel, or color pie, blue is allied with the colors that are next to it. Blue allies with white because knowledge, caution, deliberation pairs really well with peace, structure, and selflessness. But also blue pairs really well with black because deceit and perfection pairs really well with power and self-interest. And blue's enemy colors are green and red because none of these things work really well with the point of these colors. Knowledge, deceit, caution, deliberation, perfection doesn't go well with red's freedom, emotion, action, impulse, destruction, or green's nature, wildlife, connection, spirituality, and tradition. So blue's enemy colors are green and red. And this can be done all around the color pie. Like if they are next to the color, they are allied colors. And if they are across from that color, then they are enemy colors. That being said, when Wizards of the Coast designs cards in each of these colors, there are certain mechanics that only certain colors can have, and only rarely can they be in other colors. So for example, the mechanics, some of the white mechanics are damage prevention and life gain, total protection, like as a defensive color, either total protection from colors or creature types or things like that. Small creatures, also known as white weenies, which are inherently small, teehee. Rule setting or taxing, so there's cards that make things cost more or slightly change the rules of the game, like a cop. Artifact and enchantment destruction, balance and uniformity, things that do mass destruction to both sides of the board, like a Wrath of God effect or balance or things like that. Peacemaking, things that avoid combat without killing something, like pacifism or arrest. Combat superiority with pump spells, and then total defense, like stopping attacking creatures. Blue focuses on card draw, counter spells, mimicry, so like copying things your opponent has, return to hands or bounce effects, tapping or untapping permanents, gaining control of your opponent's cards, the stealing, milling your opponent, so putting things directly from the library into the graveyard. Some combat trickery, like making stuff invulnerable or flying or things like that. And then reality changing by changing like text, color, creature, land type of the caster's choice. Black is focused on death and destruction, destroying things, specifically destroying weak creatures, giving -X to stuff, so making things smaller and making them weaker, gaining life by draining either from the opponent or from a creature, different cloak and dagger evasion abilities like death touch, flying, fear, menace. Necromancy, reanimating things from the graveyard. Card advantage, normally by paying its own life or draw, and some bargains by playing powerful cards like demons or undead that have downsides like paying life or you losing the game after a certain amount of turns. Red's mechanics focus on direct damage, also known as burn, artifact and land destruction, super aggressive creatures, impulsive draws, which don't literally draw to your hand but draw into exile and you have to play them immediately because red is super fast. Martial superiority with cards like first strike, double strike, and haste, just better abilities on the creatures as far as combat goes. Short-term mana acceleration, like rituals. There's a lot of cards in red that favor randomness over selection, and some trickery, like forcing creatures to block or preventing creatures from blocking to capitalize on red's aggressiveness. Green is focused on big, powerful creatures, specifically a lot of tokens. pump effects, making their creatures just even bigger, specifically with those big creatures attacking with trample, making things uncounterable or hexproof, because you can't stop nature. Things you get from nature like regeneration or death touch or things like that. Permanent mana acceleration, where you literally get the land. Mana fixing, so being able to find other colors of mana, and artifact and enchantment destruction. All of these colors combine into different color pairs. I'm not going to list them all, but here they are. There's names for each of the color pairs. Only some of them are actually like used in common terminology, specifically the Ravnica guilds, the Alara shards, and the Tarkir clans. Everything else is just kind of cool. But those are like the three things that are actually used in real Magic terminology. And that's a basic explanation of all the colors in Magic. If you like this video and want to know more, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, all of that stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.